Hello YouTube and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. Today we're coming at you with another tool haul. Now last night I went to an in-person auction, and so as I did that I was actually bidding on a lot, and lo and behold I bid on this lot, number 17. And as you can see it's behind me here. It was a box of sockets and such like that, and I wanted to kind of show you what I got, and this is how much I paid for it incidentally. So lot number 17, I paid $3 for this box here. Now I got there kind of late, so I bought it sight unseen. I didn't want to miss out. Isn't there a thing about that? FOMO, fear of missing out? Maybe that was affecting me last night. And so I held up my card and I bid on this. Anyways, it only went for $3. And I actually, when I got back, I was kind of excited about it. So I thought I'd kind of share it with you. You ready? Let's go take a look at it real quick. All right, friends, so this is what we have here. So I got this box, and so inside this box was a bunch of old sockets. Now, you might notice the very first thing in the back here, this is an old lever ratcheting ratchet, actually. And so if I go to pull this out, you'll notice that it has a square end. It has this removable portion that's here, so this removable anvil. And so that just slides in place right here, and that's how you can make it go forward or reverse depending on where you're at. So you can kind of flip it back around and go from there. Now these ones, the way that they work, you'll notice that I can go this way, it turns, but when I go this way, it loosens it. And so there's no tension on it. That's how this lever ratchet works. Now, I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's an old Indestro. Anyways, I don't have one of these in my collection, and so I just thought, man, this is a great find for $3 for me anyways. And so I'm going to get this thing all cleaned up, and we'll show it to you as we get going. But I went through and I looked up the date information on this, and so they made this actually in the late 20s to early 30s. And so that's how far back this goes. So we're getting close up to that 100-year mark as far as how old this bad boy goes. And so still works. It still works in awesome condition here. And so I'm excited about that. So I love that. So we got the ratchet itself. I'll put that back here. And of course, you got that little insert that goes there. So that's there. And then we even came up with another one here. I think it's like 7 inches and 7/8 or something like that. Is what it measured out to be. So we have that portion there. So a couple different ways. So a couple extensions there, or one extension. And then I wanted to kind of show you on these sockets. Let's see if I can kind of get some visual on here. You notice that this socket has a star on it. And so I don't know if you can see that. There's probably a star on that one there. Let's pick out a different one here. We'll just pick out one of these random ones. Oh, there you go. So you see how there's a star there? And then there's a star on this side. So this one's 1 1/4 inch. And so notice all the knurling right along the edge here. And so now this one doesn't have a name on it. But when I reference back, when I went to find that ratchet, it referred that Indestro actually made these as well. That was their trademark that they put on it. So that double star marking on there. And so I just thought, man, that is cool to be able to find a whole set this way. And so we have all kinds of them that are here. Now, I won't take the time to kind of go through them all, but this is one of the bigger ones that we had here. And so for $3, I thought, man, that was really good. The only sad part about it is that I'm really kind of sad that it didn't come with the original box. That's the only thing that would have made this better. And so now when we look at this part here, we can see that there's all kinds of different sockets in here. And for the most part, a lot of it is industrial, but that's not all we got. And so when I come over here and I look at this, I don't know that we necessarily got anything great on this one here. Actually, it is a fleet, so hopefully you can read that there. I do have one set of sockets that's 1/2 inch in a fleet, but this one is 3/8 of an inch. I do have a few of those, so I'm going to add that to my collection, get this all cleaned up. You can see how dirty and crunchy it is inside there. Spiders and spider webs and all. So we have that one there that came with it. Let's see here. This one, I can't really tell. This one's pretty far gone. what that is. And so we got a number of those that are sitting there. And so as we turn this one over, we can see that this is another one of those Indestro sockets. And so we got a number of those as we go through. So I'm going to get these all cleaned up, and we're going to come back in the video in just a moment. But before I do, I wanted to kind of point out something else to you. So when I was looking through all of the sockets, you might notice here, this is an old Craftsman here. And as you can see on that there, it's an old Circle H. Now, I do have some of those Circle H's. I don't think we've reviewed those on my channel yet, but I do have some of those. So that's going to be a nice add to that collection there once I get it all cleaned up. Here's another one, an old Craftsman. And so when we come over here and look at this, let's see here. I don't know that we can tell. I'm thinking it's a BE. So this is, remember that one I did with the amber handled ratchet tools from Craftsman? This is going to add nicely to that collection there. And then as I go through, we have another long C. You can barely see the long C there in a Craftsman. And this is another BE. And then as we go through, this one here is another Craftsman. Can't quite read that one yet. And then this one here is another Craftsman. So we got, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Craftsmen that are in this bunch. Now, there was one more, and I don't know if I have it here. I don't know if I brought it over with me. But anyways, we got one more socket that was in here. And I don't think this, no, that's a Craftsman that I don't know that I brought it with me here. Doggone it. Hold on just a second. Let me go get it, okay? Okay, so this is what I went back to get. There was one more oddball that was in here. You'll notice that it's a 1 1/16, but did you also notice? It's an old Plomb. How cool is that? Now, you can barely make it out there. It's hard to make out the P and the L, but it's an old Plomb socket. Now, I was looking through my Plomb tools. I have all kinds of wrenches and some ratchets, but as far as sockets, I don't really have a lot. And so when we're looking at this, an old 1/2 inch, and so that's going to be a real nice add to my collection as well. So we got a Plomb, we got 5 different Craftsmen of sorts, and then a whole bunch of Indestro. I'm kind of anxious to be able to line them all up on a rail, and let's see what they look like. But first, let's go clean them up, and then we'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back already. Can you believe that? How fast did we clean these bad boys up? So this is what we have after we've cleaned them up. Now, you've seen us clean up lots of tools, so we thought we'd just kind of walk you through the process. So we'll start off by the start of the show. As you can see here, we have this lever ratcheting ratchet. And so we got this one cleaned up. Remember, we couldn't hardly see what it said there. So Indestro manufacturer, so Chicago there. And so when we look at it, look how nice and neat this bad boy cleaned up. And so again, when you push this way, it's free, but when you push down, it locks in place and it wants to turn. So when we have our little insert in here, and so when we're going back this way, nothing, but this way makes it turn. And so this is like one of the very first ratchets that they ever made. And so that's kind of cool if you ask me. And so we can see what that looks like right there. And didn't that just turn out so nice? Wow, what a beauty, huh? And so we have that. So there's one. And then we had that long extension here. In fact, let's go ahead and measure it out, because I think I told you I thought it was about 7 something. Yep, so 7 3/8 actually. I was off just a little bit. So 7 3/8 is what we have as far as an extension on there. And so that's pretty cool. And so we have that cleaned up really nice and neat as well. And so from there, you'll notice we have 2 rails. That's how many sockets were in that box that way. Now, we organized it all up, and so we'll start off here in the back. And so you can see that we have some 6-point that we have here. And look how beautiful these bad boys turned out here. And so when we flip it over, we can see it's a 1 1/4 that we have here. And remember that star? Remember that look that we had right there? And so that double star, we asked you in the other portion of the video, do you know what that stands for? And that stands for industrial. And so this dates back to the late 20s to the early 30s. And so that's one. So we have that one cleaned up. So when we put this on it, it goes click, and then away we go. We're ready to get down into some business here. And so how nice is that, right? And so that's what that looks like when it's all said and done there. So when we go to click it out, of course, we're going to have to go through and push out this. That was the early style, so it didn't work nearly as good. But I mean, for what they had back then, boy, they were on it, and so that part was really good. So we have that, and then it drops down. So the next size that we have here, it looks like 1 1/8. And so, but again, look at this knurling, if I can say it right. Can't say my words today. But when we look at it, look how nice and clean that turned out. Remember all the spiders and cobwebs that were in it? Nope, not no more. We done evacuated them out of their home. So this is 1 1/16. And you'll notice how small of increments it's actually going down. That's one of the reasons why we have so many sockets here. Here's a 1 inch. And so, and then as we come down, the next size from the 1 inch is going to be 31 to 32 here. And so we have that. And then we're not going to go through them all, but as you can see, we have 15, 16. That's there, and it goes all the way down here to the other end. And so we'll probably need to flip it around. And so 9/16. And so again, that double star, you see how beautiful everything turned out to be. So that's one rail. In fact, it didn't even fit on that rail, so I was inaccurate. Instead of going down to 9/16, I started it over here on this side again, and it went all the way down over here. So let's look and see what we have here. So this is 11/32. And so that's how small that gets down for us there. And again, that's how beautiful these cleaned up. So we got a whole set of 6-point. And then from there, we got a few 12-point, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 12-point that was included in there. And then we got our swivel extension here. So it's a double swivel. So if we need to get some length on here, so here we go. We can add some length and connect this up to the ratchet. And then away we go. So let's just do that just so for a quick little visual here. So this is how it can be. And so how cool is that, right? And so we have some options as we get to going and working on whatever tool or car that we're working on that way. Okay, from there, you'll notice that we also have some square points up here. So 4 points or square heads. And so we come down here and we're looking at 3/8 would be the smallest one. And then we come up here and we're looking at 7/8. And so as we're coming up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we landed 6 of those. So 6 of the square heads, 4 12 points, and then a whole slew of this. I didn't even count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 of the 6 points. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What do you think? So far, remember, we only spent $3. That's all we spent on this. And so when we hold it off to the side, you can see just how gorgeous that is. Man, who has this set? And especially in this kind of condition, right? Look at that. That's beautiful. And so I don't know about you, but maybe I'm just getting too excited here. But so there's that. Now, remember, we also said, remember that one ratchet or that one socket I went to try to find and I couldn't find it? Well, here it is, all cleaned up. Look at that. Now you can see the plumb. Easy as all get out. Look at that. So 1 1/16. And so it just cleaned up beautiful inside and out. And so as we're going through, man, I had to work at this one though. This one was pretty grungy as we got going. But look at that. Look at that. Man, this is awesome. I love that. Okay, and then from there, let's scoot the ratchet out of the way here. We also had some Craftsman. Now, you know we have the long C. It goes all the way up to the T. It goes for sure all the way up to the F that we see there. But remember, this is the circle H. And so with the circle H, that's pretty important because that is going to add into our collection. So that was one that we got. And then this Craftsman cleaned up really good as well, 15/16. And so we got the long C there. But now notice on this one, you can barely read it, but it's BE. So remember, we did that amber handle. This is going to add on to that socket collection. that we have there. And then the next size down that we had, another Craftsman BE as well. So this one is 21/32. And so we had another Craftsman. And so we're coming over here, same thing, long E. And so this is the BE, and then this one's going to be the 5/8. And then another Craftsman. Now this one, you can see it had a little bit of pitting in it. The rust was really tearing it up pretty good before we got to it. So this one is the BE, and then it is a 9/16. So I believe we already have those, but we're going to add those to our collection. Now from there, let's see, we had a couple more. That was the Plomb, so we're going to put that right there. And then remember we said we had a fleet, and so here's our fleet that we had. So all cleaned up, real nice and neat. Remember, it had all kinds of rust down here, so we got it about as good as we're going to get it. This is our 3/8 inch one. And then this one I thought was going to be along the set over here, but notice this one does not have that star marking on it. It does have the knurling right there, but it does not have that star marking. In fact, it doesn't have any maker's mark that I can tell on this. So if you know more about this socket, please put it in the comments below. So that way we can all learn and get all educated and know what we're looking at for future reference as well. So this is our haul. Our haul consisted of all of this for $3. All right, we'll be right back. All right, friends, so there you have it. That's our tool haul for $3. Can you believe that? We got all of those sockets. We got that lever ratcheting ratchet that we had there. Let's see here. And then we got the extensions that went on top of that. So what do you think? Did we get a good deal or did we not get a good deal? Now, remember, I bid on it because I was late at the auction. I just threw up my card and I didn't know what I was getting. But I am sure happy that I did that. And so you tell us, do you think we got a good deal? Also, what's your favorite? What did you enjoy? Is it the whole complete set? Is it the BE, the Craftsman BE, the antique sockets, or maybe it's the Plomb? For me, I think because I only have one other Plomb. Yeah, I think because I only have one other Plomb, it's probably going to be. No, I changed my mind. I think I'm going to go with the Indestro whole ratchet set with the sockets and all. That's going to be there. But the Plomb, that's going to be number 2. And the only reason why it comes in number 2 is because I get so much of the other stuff. Anyways, you can't lose, I don't think. If this is your first time watching, please subscribe. And also put a like on the video. YouTube likes that. And so that helps us grow our channel. Now, when I mentioned yesterday, we were just climbing over that 400. Now, the last time we looked today, we were in the 420s. And so I think the low 420s, something like that. So we're excited. We're growing. We're getting up to that, close to that 500, because that's our next goal. And so again, thank you so much for watching. It means a lot to us. And we'll see you on the next one.